Hello everyone, I am David and this is a demonstration of Enveloperty. Enveloperty is a tactile security email service provider. Enveloperty focuses on deterring, denying, and mitigating email attacks such as phishing, spam, spoofing, and email compromise. The core feature of Enveloperty is dynamic addresses. Let's say the domain for our email address is domain.com. The current standard is to have one email address per individual, so you would give everyone you meet the same email address. Enveloperty's dynamic addresses changes that paradigm. Instead of one email address, you will have one domain or subdomain. Then using our system, you will give every entity a unique and descriptive email address. For example, let's say I meet a guy named Eric. I tell Eric to email me at eric188@domain.com. Without any preparation, I will receive email at the eric188@domain.com email address. This email architecture has some unique benefits. For starters, attribution. Since each entity only has one email address to my domain, I know that email coming in on that email address either came from the person I gave the email address to, or in some way got the email address from that person. So if you're conducting business, you know that you are truly communicating with the person you think you are. And if you aren't, you know where the attacker got the email address from and can alert your security team to that fact. And if the email address is compromised, it can be blacklisted and another email address can be sent to your contact for secure communication. Another way to use this feature is attribution for sales leads. Let's say you go to DEF CON hacking conference. You know any leads that emailed defcon@domain.com heard about you at or because of DEF CON and can approach the lead appropriately as well as keep accurate statistics. Enveloperty is not just for individuals. Enveloperty is primarily for businesses. Let's say there is a company named Domain. Each of their staff could receive a subdomain under the domain.com domain, allowing each and every employee to take advantage of dynamic addresses. Imagine this like a password manager for email addresses. Separate dynamic email addresses are sorted into different folders. The first folder is the inbox. The inbox is your most important folder. Emails sent to only your most important email addresses should go to your inbox. Any email that goes into your inbox should be immediately opened. By intentionally keeping the list of email addresses that go into your inbox small, one can rid the email monkey off their back, because they know they will be notified of important email and nothing else, stopping the reflexive checking of email. The next folder is called Limbo. The Limbo folder is just what you would imagine. It is for email that is not important enough to be in the inbox, but not spammy enough to be put into quarantine. Let's say you signed up for the Signal newsletter. Their email isn't important enough to wake you up in the middle of the night with a notification, but you don't want it to get lost in the clutter of quarantine. That is the perfect place for the Limbo folder. The last readable folder is called Quarantine. Quarantine is for a spammy email that you still need to receive. This is a great folder for companies or people that send lots of newsletters and ads and the like, but you still need to receive their email in case you need a receipt or to reset your password. The final folder is called Blacklist. The blacklist is not viewable, and any address sent to the blacklist will not have its email be received by your system, but the person sending the email won't know that. All email sent to an Enveloperty system is responded with received. This prevents attackers from trying a bunch of email addresses to find a valid one. This concept is called shadow banning. This gives Enveloperty users aggressive control over who contacts them. This is a demonstration instance we have set up of Enveloperty, so we can go ahead and show you guys how this stuff works, but it's very simple, only for demonstration, and so we don't have any important email addresses or information. So right now, when I open up, I'm in Inbox. So remember how I was talking about folders earlier on? So right now, Inbox is one of the 3 default folders that we come along. So this folder is for my most important things. Every time an email comes into this folder, I should get a notification of it, and I need to check that immediately. One of the features you can see here is this box, which reflects a score. So we score each of the messages coming in based off of how safe or how unsafe it might be. And these aren't like hard checks. We're not guaranteeing that message is either safe or unsafe. It just gives you an idea of what to look at. So if it's green, for example here, then it's probably safe. You can probably proceed. But as you'll see later on, if this is red, like a dark, angry red, if it's asking for credentials or anything like that, you really probably shouldn't be clicking on it. So we're just empowering your organic intelligence. Here we have the triage folder. The triage folder is where everything that isn't put elsewhere will fall. So if you just throw out a random email address without creating a persona for it and someone emails you, it's going to end up here for organizing. So as you can see off to the right here, the shield icon, this means that I have not trusted the persona, and as such, the score will be negatively impacted. This folder is called Quarantine. It's one of the 3 default folders we put in. So Triage is for all incoming mail. It's for anything that hasn't been organized, so it's kind of neutral. Inbox is for things that are important, and Quarantine, this folder, is for things that are not important. So the idea behind this folder is that they're sending you crap, as you can see here. They're sending you crap that you can't delete because per se you need to reset a password with them or something. You can't drop the email address entirely. You need to keep the channel open, but you really don't want to see any of the stuff they're sending you unless there's something specific, like you chose to reset your password. As you can see on the left here, we have a list of folders that you will have by default when you log into your new Enveloperty instance. So Inbox, Triage, and Quarantine, these are core folders. We highly suggest you keep them. But the rest of these, we added them in just to kind of suggest to you how you can use Enveloperty and how to categorize things. For this demonstration, I'll be showing you how the unique email address system and the trust system works through the Finance tab. So as you can see, this folder is colored orange, which means I'll get notifications because the contents are very important. So right here, we have a quote-unquote legitimate message from my bank. So as you'll notice, it's trusted because it doesn't have the shield here, and then the score is bright green, which means it passed DMARC, it's trusted, it's as legit as we can figure. Notice how this message on the bottom here, it doesn't have a shield, which means it's trusted, and the color-coded score is bright green, which means it passed DMARC and is trusted. So for all intents and purposes, it's as trusting as we can figure. But notice how we have this message that came in on the same email address, but is not trusted and has a very low score, meaning we need to be very cautious. For the purposes of the demonstration, as with the other things, I thought I'd make it really obvious. So notice how in the subject it says, "Yo comrade, click on this." So the concept is that this would be a legitimate email from US Bank, but then US Bank had a leak and they discovered your email address. So this is someone trying to phish you. But notice through the power of Enveloperty and these unique email addresses, how it's very obvious to you that you really need to take caution. And so if we were to click on this message, it'd be asking for your credentials. And you know not to actually fill them out because your email system warned you that this is a dangerous message. Notice how there are no harmful filters organizing your email and alerting you to possible security risks. This was all done organically, the right way, which means all email messages don't have to pass through some filter that someone you don't know who has different email needs and uses that you have. This was all done by you, for you.